traditional Yoruba spiritual customs taught to him by his grandfather. He had his preparatory university studies at Government College Ibadan in 1954, subsequently University College Ibadan, and he continued at the University of Leeds, earned a bachelor's degree in English literature. Soyinka's master's degree focused on projects combining his Yoruba culture with traditional British theatre traditions. He later returned to school in Nigeria to study African theatre, during which time he continued to produce poems and plays, one of which...
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello folks, I greet you. Welcome to the biggest rendezvous for gentlemen of a fourth estate. We call it Journalist Hangout. Welcome. I'm Citizen Jones Hussein. Now today on the program, 30 persons killed in joint attack by herdsmen and bandits. That's in Benue State. Afenifere condemns call for military coup by protesters and display of foreign flags, urges federal government to conduct investigation, and later on we'll share this with you. 7 people die as flood ravages 10 local government areas in Niger State. Let me report I'm hanging out with Ibn Abod Dixon. I greet you, Ibn Abod.
Good evening, citizen.
Yeah. Ibn Abod, we are joined by Charles Ideho. Charles, greetings too.
Thank you very much. And then glad to be here one more time with my Niger Texas sister.
Okay.
Yes.
All 3 of us?
Yes, yes, madam.
It's no accident. So the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay, then let's go. You know, the absence of peace and calm in the Middle Belt region of our country is a cause of worry and deep concern. A report reaching us says about 30 persons are feared killed and still counting in a joint attack on the Ayati community in Ukum local government area of Benue State. I hope I got the names right. This was an event recorded earlier on today. Now, the vicious attack was carried out by armed herdsmen in concert with local bandits. And now, with many more people declared missing, the death toll may rise. The State Police Command is privy to the development, but it requires help as we speak. Benue State, you recall, is the breadbasket of the nation. Charles.
Yes, what is happening in Benue State is like you have a region that has become endangered, you know, and because successive government, even during the last administration, you know, remember when that gentleman, I forgot his name, the governor who left Autumn was always crying. At the time, they called him Cry Baby because he said he felt so traumatized because of the death and everything improper that we visited upon his people. I incidentally have visited Benue State before. I think Benue State had about 23 local government, of which 14 belongs to the TIV and all that. So I visited about 12. So I even the Ukum you mentioned, Ukum, Shongo, Logo, Adikpo, I visited all those areas before. These are basically rural areas. And they are actually far flung from the city center, which is, of course, Makurdi. So it's something that should bother all of us because the sobriquet of what they call the slogan for Benue State is the food basket of the nation. And it's just not something you mouth. It is true because I visited them. I saw the abundance of agricultural resources in that place. It's something that can feed the whole nation if indeed do something about the freedom, about the safety of the farmers over there. That's where you see Boko Yam that is almost as tall as I am. But today is almost like the Garnon pyramid of the days of yore, because people are afraid to go to the farm. People are afraid to even till their ground. So it is not just a state government thing. It is just not the war should be taken to these criminals by the state. Then the regional, they belong to this North Central. So I'm expecting that the federal government should actually do something about it so that we can nip it in the bud, and also to drive those criminals out of town, so that Benue State can indeed, get back to that peaceful nature it was enjoying when people like us visited that place that time. I was happy to be there, ate their food, drank water, ate orange. If you saw oranges, you would know that indeed we have minerals.
Talk less of mangoes and all.
Mangoes and all of that. Yes, exactly.
This has been a long time coming, and so it begs the question: why did we allow it to get to this stage? I think at this moment we need to cure the cause so as to take care of the effect. The cause must be cured, don't you think?
Exactly. If you want to solve a problem, you have to get to know the root cause. Therein, you'll find the answers. And I want to also say that, in this particular instance, local bandits were mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the problem. Because if they weren't local bandits, it will not be easy for an outsider to understand the topography of wherever they are going to,
So otherwise we are talking about the enemy within.
Yes. So when we talk about local bandits, we should be looking at the traditional rulers. Because, in every community, you have a traditional ruler and his cabinet, so to say. So what are they doing? Who is working with them? Don't they have community security?
There are two sides to the
I'm just looking
at the government and the traditional.
Yes, because if you are going to find out about what is the root cause of a problem in a place, you can't just go there and begin to pick whatever you see. You have to liaise with the people who are residents in that location, so that the ones that will give you a proper feedback on what has been, going on. So what has been done in that regards? Because I recall when Governor Tom was there, he was actually tagged a crying governor.
Yeah.
Because he was always crying out for help and all of that.
It reminds you of the late Sam Bakwe.
Yes. So I'm looking at a situation whereby the government can work with the local people, the local vigilante group. Don't they have vigilante group there? How effective are they? How well are they equipped to, counterattack bandits? And then who are these local bandits? Because these are villages. And in villages, it is commonplace for people to know one another.
Yeah.
So they need to fish out the local bandits and then look at ways to bring succor to these people, because it has been long overdue for them to have peace in this community.
And the paradox here is, the problem is here, the solution is also here.
It's here.
But you get the impression we are shying away from it.
Well, the thing is that she mentioned something about the traditional rulers. As I said, that time I was an editor of a culture magazine that actually made me to go over there. So I visited. So they have village chiefs, the village head they call Te. Te is spelled T-E-R. So you have Te Unkum, Te Vandekia, Te Logo. That is the head of Logo, the head of Unkum, and who are all answerable to the Tortiv. The Tortiv, yes, exactly. So, but unfortunately, all these Te here and there, they are restricted to cultural matters only in most cases, except somebody I don't know if it has changed now. They are restricted to cultural matters. So they actually do not have that power, to be looking for fishing out or talking about how to police their respective domains. That's one aspect of the way that is structured. Then as for what John said about having the solution, the problem is there. Remember when Otom was of the PDP, right? And then the central government was of the APC. I said, with the people, we are a country full of conspiracy theorists. On the one hand, you have the Fulani herdsmen being accused. Oh, they said the president was of Fulani descent. And this man too wanted to send his people out of, because they are pastoralists, they have nowhere to go to. Which was why he said, remember Brother said that time that he should accommodate them.
Yes.
So the man said, okay, you want me to accommodate those who are visiting me with debt and all that. So you saw a problem, a disconnect between a local a local government, what I'm saying, state government, that is disconnected from the center of another party. Another party is ruling the state. So if we see Nigeria as a common constituency, where party divide will not play any role, where whoever you are will not play. So let us all see that what is happening in Benue State, it should be a Nigerian problem.
Yeah.
It should not be an APC problem. It should not be a PDP problem.
Charles, I'm reminded in this connection, even about of the statement credited to the late American President, Ronald Reagan. He said, we should not seek the Republican nor the Democratic answer, but the American
answer, exactly.
So bring
yes,
that here.
exactly.
Yes.
We don't need...
We don't need an APC answer.
APC, PDP,
we don't need
Labour,
all these
or
things.
APGA.
It's
a Nigerian thing.
It's unfortunate that we tend to
problem.
we politicize
Yes.
everything, and it is bad. Because this is why this issue or issues surrounding banditry has lingered on for so long. Because we tend to play a lot of politics around it. Meanwhile, when it is time to, canvass for votes, we go to everybody.
Well, you folks, I'm sure, are familiar with the statement. I said it here yesterday. The late Chairman Mao Zedong of China said, in war, you are killed once. In politics, you are killed
many times. Yes, I agree.
So politicians, they have the answer to what we're saying.
But they have answer to what they say, but they do
have the
not
answer.
provide the answer because the answers will not serve them well. If they, for instance, as you said, some politicians, all of them, they deliberately create division for their own selfish aims or gains or ends. In some areas, they were sure that the unity that's supposed to bring about development doesn't come because if, for instance, I'm just using as a natural, if Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Edo, Ibibi, all of them will combine together to demand good governance, for instance, it do not pay the politician who wants to steal from the till. But if you are divided, as you are accusing one politician of the head there, if it's of Yoruba stock, you say, why? When your brother was there, what did he do?
Have you bothered to ask that politician who wants to take as much?
Yes.
How much does a man need in a 70-year lifespan?
But do they think
How much a man needs plus greed put together? That's why they continue to steal. They never stop stealing.
The white man calls it primitive acquisition.
Exactly, as a primitive. That's right. Because if you were not primitive, you will know that you don't need so much. If you were not primitive, you know that you don't need to have about 20 cars in your car lot. If you're not primitive, you will know that you don't need one mansion that has 20 rooms when you have a compact family.
A car lot in your home.
You don't.
If I understand.
So I was at Agbo. I saw a house belonging to a Nigerian, not a politician actually. The whole street, one man's house. How many children? Maybe less than 3 children. But what would you be doing with a house that has covered a whole street, a stretch of street?
All right.
Avarice and primitive.
Time. but let's drop it here and let the debate continue from your part of town. Benue State is not a happy environment as we speak. The Ukum and Ayati communities there have been ravaged by suspected herdsmen and their cousins, the bandits.
Yes.
All right, to our next story. You know, the Pan-Yoruba socio-cultural group Afenifere has weighed in on the disturbing display of foreign flags and the vexatious call for a military comeback by people who were supposed to protest the hard times in our country. So while the group is full of praise for the security agents who treated protesters professionally, it wants the federal government to conduct a thorough investigation on the matter with a view to punishing the culprits. Afenifere touched on other aspects of our national life that require urgent action, including the petroleum industry, food production, and insecurity. Ibinabo.
I totally agree with them, but let's face reality. Those who hoisted the flag, did you take a good look at them? They are not people you would say had a thorough understanding of the implications of what they were doing at that time. But, like they say, somebody the drum beat for that water ice and we day on top of water. now make they dance. So who are the people who, push them into this act? Because if we just pick up these people, we're not addressing the issue. They must tell.
No, if they squeal on who push them out, we are getting someplace. Essentially, if we go after them,
we should, and also, you see, when a man is vulnerable, it is very easy for anyone to want to conscript him into any group, any bad group. So that is why I like the part that Adam talked about the issue of hoisting a foreign flag in Nigeria. They also mentioned the aspect of the government having the need to look into the issues affecting Nigerians.
Yeah.
Most of the things that were mentioned, especially hunger. Citizen, when man is hungry, and when I say man, I mean a human being.
including women.
Including women. When you are hungry, you are unreasonable.
Okay.
When you are hungry, you are angry. When you are hungry, you are desperate.
Yeah.
So government should take the issue of hunger seriously and begin to do, what can they do?
Yeah, Afenifere said, look, let's look at the soil.
Yes.
The answer is there.
Yes.
We must go back to the soil, till the soil one more time.
We should.
Yeah, but you're tilling the soil. You can't go back to the soil. I mean, death could be waiting for you there. We just talked about bandits and herdsmen that are...
No. Afenifere tailored these things together. They are all join as...
Yeah, but again, if you don't... sorry for interjecting. If you don't address the issue of insecurity, tilling the soil can be a thing that you can do, because you can't till the soil alone without other things accompaniments. For instance, for you to go back to till the soil that you're going to be tilling, you have to have safety to till that soil.
I agree.
Not looking behind your shoulder. That's
and more than that,
yes,
mechanized farming is the way to go.
Well, mechanized farming, but not everybody can do that. I mean, subsistence farming in some places, it still keeps some families going. I mean, before now, there were people who were living on agriculture, living on sustainable agriculture. But again,
Charles,
they sent away.
But I'm sure you were here when we talked about Kogi governor.
Yes, we did that. Yes, exactly.
Kogi governor, or your governor.
I was here too.
So they have shown the way.
Well,
Kogi or Oyo might be relatively more peaceful, but then Afenifere is saying, looking at the whole picture, and let's set about calling the bluff of this, like the Benue thing we are talking. We can call the bluff.
Okay, calling the bluff. Who we call the bluff? Those who are in authority, who have vested responsibility.
Asking me who is going to bell the cat?
It's a rhetorical question. I'm answering it now. That, for instance, those who have hoisted the flag, you said hunger may have caused them not to understand the implication of that. But what offense is it? It's a treasonable offense, and it is punishable by death.
No. Hold on. You are asked to hoist a flag.
Yes.
I'm sure you are induced.
Well, induced with how much? Maybe monetary.
Do you know the flag you are hoisting? Do you understand the implications?
Well, that is where education comes. Not education, not classroom education. Education about being aware.
Look at your footage.
But again, I personally look at I analyze this critically, and I said, what could have been? Do you know?
Charles, look at those children.
Yes, I know. Yes.
What do they understand is going on beyond, Mama, I'm hungry?
Yes. When you are hungry and then you are giving maybe banknotes and then you are hosting for idea, ask question. But it's somebody who has maybe a modicum level of education. Maybe able to ask, but we are taught in secondary green, white, green is our flag. But we are seeing red is not a Nigerian flag. The person will be asking. I mean, education will make you ask such questions, will make you to ask
Education will also tell the fellow that the Nigerian armed forces, when the president addresses the nation or is at a public function, there are two flags. The one is the national flag, the green, white, and then the other one
the military, because he's the commander-in-chief.
Forces,
because he is the commander-in-chief.
Armed forces flag.
But you won't have it behind any governor. Because governor, because it's education that brought that knowledge.
Yes.
when the president of a nation, of our nation, for instance, Tinubu, President Tinubu, when he addressed us, you had two flags, right? One of them is the national flag. The other one is the armed forces flag. Why? Because he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
Or the armed forces colors.
It reminds you, when you see him on TV, it reminds you of his position as, first of all, the president, Nigerian flag, and he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
Because we have understanding.
Because I have understanding. That's
Charles,
what I'm saying.
can you, in your mind's eyes, envision the colors of the Russian flag and the
armed forces?
Yes.
Well, but again, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Let me say it. Again, I have a friend in the North who said, Charles, this thing you are saying is beyond what you are saying. This is, mentioned about conspiracy theory. Number one, there are people who are aligned, who have alliance with Niger Republic, who are still smarting from that coup that they said Tinubu, being the chairman of ECOWAS, did not treat it well. Some people could say, okay, this is an opportunity to embarrass the president, to embarrass Nigeria. So there are certain things and there are people who are there who are still saying that they are not part of Nigeria in parentheses, you know. So that's why it is good for Afenifere has called for in-depth investigation.
Yes.
So that we just pass it off as is their children. Because one of the governors in the North, I can't recall, he said they are children who don't understand the enormity of what they're doing. I said, no, I can't accept that. Somebody made them carry that flag. What are the intentions? What are the intents of that person who gave them that flag? That's the underlying thing we must have to deal with.
And that is the information they must extract from them.
Yes.
So if they are able to do that, and going forward, the governor who came out to say that they're
just kids. They don't know what they're doing.
They're just kids. What is his role?
Yes.
After this period.
That's it.
Because you need to make these children understand why they shouldn't allow anyone
and even about
to rabble-rouse them.
That's why the Pan-Yoruba group is saying, fish them out and punish them.
Yes.
And more so, especially we live in a country that appears to be a place where you don't punish wrongdoing. So if we do so, next time you are going to indulge these children.
You remember the consequences.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the message Afenifere is trying to send.
And it is very commonplace too, that we don't get to punish.
No, it's like our middle name.
Yes.
You hardly punish bad.
And if you want to punish, ethnicity will come in. Regional interests come in. Okay, when it happened, for instance, when Boho did this, Sunday Boho, what did you people do? When so people did it, we have all these things.
You hear a question like, now only him. And stuff. Well, don't forget the saying once again. In war, you are killed once.
Once, yes.
In politics, you are killed
several times over. Yeah.
Okay, then we'll take a breather here. Go on a break. We should be back very shortly. Please stay with us.
Into it, but I think he's on that track of, he has a very wide understanding of, this sexual harassment and violence against women and the girls. So what I'm looking at is they need to engage. We always have to go back to our community leaders, the gatekeepers, traditional rulers. They need to have this understanding. Some don't understand. Like, let me quickly come back to Lagos. The Yaba of before, Yaba market of before. If you are very unfortunate to be in some places at a particular time of the day at Yaba market,
you could be harassed.
Yes, and when you cry out or you try to fight back, even some women will tell you, "What you do? You just hold your hand." Not having that understanding that when a person tells you, no, don't touch me, you do not touch that person. So there is need for a lot of advocacy on that because some people don't understand. Some men, like Chassis said, they don't understand that when a woman says, please, I'm not in the mood, it may not go down well with you. But you have to understand that she has said no, and that no should be no. And if you go contrary to that no, it is harassment. You have harassed her.
About mine is the figures are alarming. 159 cases of gender-based violence over the last 1 year. In Lagos, you couldn't do a thing like that and go scot-free.
Okay.
I know that Lagos is leading the
For
pack.
me, that 159 is even, I don't believe that is...
I think it's underreported.
It's underreported.
Yeah, conservative.
Yes, because, gradually we are coming out of the days of reticence. Now some women can come out and talk about it, without being ashamed, and sometimes the community is not helping too. And
you also have abandonment of responsibility, Charles.
Yes, exactly. I think, thankfully, governors, they have governors forum. Peer reviews can take place. Exactly. I know, because I am doing something with Lagos State government on radio, so I know that Lagos State government has a very beautiful template that any state can pick, copy and paste, particularly this gender-based issue that is being tackled in Lagos. As I said, it's a very beautiful template that can be copied and pasted elsewhere outside Lagos State. Now, somebody who is married, you are married and you are the man, you understand that there are certain responsibilities that culturally, we're not living in Europe where we share things. I understand that if you go to Europe, if you took a girl out, you were supposed to share the bills. But here it's not like that where we are here, because we grow up to meet we can't change this. Once you are a man, you have responsibility towards your family, all right? Which is why we are saying that if your means cannot take 5 children, don't have 5 children. Because that very meager means cannot go around. If it is for 2 children, for instance, it will be able to take care of them so that you don't abandon your responsibility. Because what you find here is that you have 1 or 2 or 3 wives. Each of them, let's say, 3 children. That's about 9 children. And then what's your means of livelihood? Very meager. So when this one comes, we want this one. We are coming and putting burdens upon you. There's the chances that you will abdicate your responsibilities, which is part of what is being reported. Which is what we are saying is that, please, be very careful when you don't work with your emotions to go marry more than you can cater for, because a time is going to come. These women, there's competition. You have 1 child, I will have another one. You have 2, it have to be 2. I remember when I was born, listen to this. My mother said, he told me that where I come from, one, for instance, if you got married and you have 1 child and you are not enjoying the marriage, you wanted to leave, you will be told, don't leave 1 child there, because another woman will come and... So if there are 2, they can be together. So when you have 2 children, want to say, who are you going to be leaving this crowd for? You understand? So what I'm driving at is that if you know you can't take care of 2 wives, don't marry 2. If you know you can't take care of 3 wives, marry the one you can, and then you know of children that you can adequately cater for or cater to their needs. You marry them so that you don't have the incidence of abdicating your responsibility.
All right. Ibn Abba, let me expand the field in case you've forgotten. 12 threats to life. Threat to life is serious. I want to believe that the #1 citizen of Kwara State is watching us. And so ours is just, as I said, mold the opinion and allow him, there's an emergency. If we have this reported by the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, it's an emergency.
Yes, emergency.
I want to believe that the government is going to start doing something about it, if they have not already started.
Yeah.
Then another aspect that we should look into is the area, what prompted that was what he mentioned when he talked about, putting a check to the number of children you want to have. Mm-hmm. We should be looking at family planning. Because there had been, I've read a lot of stories on how some men will insist that their wives shouldn't be put on any form of family planning.
God will bring the food our children eat.
Yes, and they will tell you that, no, children are from God, so you cannot stop them from coming to the world. But do you have the capacity to take care of these children?
All right. We must go to our last but not least story. It's also as important. We trust Kwara would do the needful. Thank you. One stroke of nature would empty its unsparing venom, especially when man disobeys its warning. The rains are here, and the accompanying floods would come with their bites. The Niger State Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has informed of 7 persons killed in the recent flood that occurred in Magama and Rafi local government areas of the state, amongst others. The DG of NEMA in that state, Ibrahim Inga, who broke the sad news, said many houses, farms, bridges, and roads that connect many areas were destroyed and many persons displaced. Nature has done its worst. Man must do his best, Abi.
Okay, so this still goes back to the government and the people. Now, when we have rainy season, we have dry season. When it is dry season, how do you dispose of your waste, your solid waste especially? Because a lot of time, when you go out, the way people dispose of their waste, it is crazy. If you're driving down this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, you get to some places, they have dropped their bags of waste on the road. And when we have, when we have flash floods.
I thought you were going to include the ugly one, open defecation.
When we have flash flood, this waste are washed into the drainage channels.
Yeah.
And this will obstruct the free flow of water. And water will always find its level.
Yeah.
So I think people should understand that how they dispose of their waste is important. And secondly, government should stop looking the other way when people are building on drainage channels.
Yeah.
The right of way of water, you can't stop it.
You can't stop it. Yeah.
If you stop it, it will find another way to flow. So, it doesn't end with government talking about it. They need to match action with their words. Just like what was happening sometime in Lagos, on the island, where there was some demolition and all of that, and people misinterpreted it to be maybe witch hunting,
ethnic
and all of that. See, you can't build on the right way of water and then think that you can go to sleep and sleep well. You
can't build on restricted areas.
You cannot.
You should not.
You shouldn't. So if you like, some people will tell you, we didn't know it was not like that. You should do your due diligence before you even erect any structure in such areas, so that you don't end up.
But an erection of that nature, Charles, is authorized by government.
Well, again, government will always create places. There are some places.
Maybe not government. People in government.
People in government. Well, again, who also want to for pecuniary gains.
Yes.
I like
even when they know the.
Yes, of course, they've done what they want to do. There's a place I was driving through one time. I saw they always put this red X, stop walk. All right. So they stopped walk. I came back. They started walk. So what could have happened? Does it mean that the things they asked them to stop walk have been addressed? So money has been. So, but because I love the imagery you painted on nature and all that. I see when nature created the world, it created boundaries. All right. So, but these boundaries are usually encroached upon by human activities. Now, you can encroach, but again, respect nature. As you said, water will always find its level. Now, the Niger State has about 3 bodies of water. Okay, 2 bodies of water actually. The 8th, which of course is an offshoot of the first. You had River Niger over there. Then you have River Kaduna. And then you have this Shiroro Dam as well. Yeah. So this body of water sometimes when, just as you said, human activities will clog certain things. When it goes in there, the water will look for where to empty its bowel. It empties it upon the mass dwelling, which is what is causing this flash flood and all that. Flash flood is not restricted to Nigeria. I mean, Dubai, that is very advanced, also had its own fair share of flash flood recently when we were talking about Syria and all that. But they were able to tackle it. I'm sure that sort of thing will not happen again. In the Netherlands is below sea level. Yeah. But man had been able to separate certain things, create even the boundary that was set by nature. Man was able to work it out to ensure that anytime there's a problem there's going to be flash flood. They have this alarm.
Do you remember that the town of Venice in Italy
it's water. I mean, above water, exactly. I think there's even a town
they've been living there for hundreds of years.
I can't recall the town in Italy. They said they don't have roads. So they just like you have this a place I've been to in Venezuela, I think it's called Gamvier village. It is just like Laje here. Mm-hmm. It is boat that used to visit and all that. Yes. So such a thing, the government will always look for a way. For instance, as you said, if it is during dry season, what measures do they put in place in order to ensure that when it comes to rainy season, that the waters will not fight back, which is what's happening now. So it's a collaboration between the everyday people and the government. When the government gives laws, let us try to obey it for our own sake. Like what's happening, people are building on drainage channels and all that. When you say you should live there, when you look at the owner of the house, you said they are using a very fine tooth comb to comb who owns the house. When there is ethnicity, you know that they will not tell you that it's which one, as you said. So let's leave those. So whether the house is owned by a Doman or Urup or EBBO, we must look at that. We have a responsibility to obey certain laws, particularly environmental laws that will help us both in the short and the long run.
Mm. And we must also emphasize that nature, when it set everything in place, the word order was infused.
Yes.
I also want to address the government. You see, when you go to the particular agency where you were given the go-ahead to go build and all of that, and then eventually you start having issues of having built on,
drainage channels.
Yes, in wrong places and all of that. Who gets punished? The owner of the house gets punished. Then the person
who gave the order, who granted the...
should be punished.
Everybody shielded.
And nobody, I've never heard of a case that this particular person did this, he worked with this particular agency, and because he authorized this building, he's been punished.
Yeah.
Nobody gets punished. It's not right. Governments should make sure that, because if you don't do it, the mindset is always that, okay, we will collect money, go and build. Tomorrow, another government will come.
But our collective hearts will go to the displaced in Niger State.
Yes.
Let's hope that, as I said, nature has done its worst.
Yes.
Let man begin to do his best.
Yeah, by first of all, bringing succor to them.
That's it.
And then also the displaced persons who have to be rehabilitated first, so that that's a short-term what they can do for them before they now know what to do in the long run.
Okay, we must go, but not before thanking Charles Sideho for your time.
Thank you.
Ibn Abba Dixon, many thanks for your intervention too.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it, folks. If you missed any part of this show, not to worry. Later tonight at 11, a repeat broadcast will take your time. But you may join us on Sunday as well from between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m., where we expand the field for you. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Tired of pans that scratch and stick? Or cookware that takes up valuable space in your kitchen and are of little to no...
Stay ahead with the biggest news stories. Go beyond the news headlines. Experience impactful investigations. Enjoy resourceful news coverage in real time. TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. Live every day on this channel. TVC News. First with breaking news. Experience information and entertainment like never before as TVC Breakfast takes your weekends to a whole new level. Introducing TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, your ultimate source of thrilling sports updates, insightful political analysis, and captivating entertainment news. Stay in the know with what's trending, catch up with the latest in sports, and immerse yourself in the latest buzz from the world of music and movies. Your weekends are no longer just days off, but moments packed with knowledge, excitement, and enjoyment. TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, only on TVC News.
It's the last edition of Beyond 100 Days for the week. Welcome to the program. I am Abosedi Adenio Aderemi. Join the conversation on X at TVC News NG using the hashtag Beyond 100 Days. Now let's get into our stories for the day. The Nigerian Navy says it has rescued 59 civilians from a drowning dredging vessel around the Okpobo River in Bonny, River State. In a statement by the Navy's Director of Information, Commodore Iwio Adams Aliu, the leader of the operation, Lieutenant Commander Gideon Gwaza, fell overboard and died in the course of the operation, which lasted 10 hours. The Nigerian Navy says it deployed a rescue team of 10 personnel after it received a distress call that the dredging vessel was at the risk of sinking near the river entrance. The rescue party could not approach the distress boat due to the force of the water, and a reinforcement was sent, leading to the rescue of 59 civilians. The Nigerian Navy mourns the loss of Lieutenant Commander Gwaza, who risked his life to save others. May the soul of Lieutenant Commander Gideon Gwaza rest in peace. To the nation's capital, where defense chiefs from the Economic Community of West African States, that's ECOWAS, have visited the Counter-Terrorism Center at the office of the National Security Advisor. The chiefs say terrorism is a severe security concern for the regional bloc and that it is framing up modalities for the establishment of a standby force. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who led the team, explains that ECOWAS is making efforts to bring Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger back to the regional bloc.
Thank you all for your lively participation and priceless contribution to the success of this meeting. I wish to once again reiterate that the armed forces of the West African Sub-Region ECOWAS stand by democracy. All unconstitutional forms of taking of government are alien and must not be encouraged. I am confident that the incredible ideas and novel solutions profiled will undoubtedly enhance our individual and collective capacity to confront and surmount contemporary and futuristic security challenges. May God bless us as a region, as well as our respective countries and governments. I wish you all safe journey back to your respective countries.
Now to our major discussion. The federal government has rolled out plans to cushion the effect of subsidy removal and to revamp the economy. Let's bring you some of the initiatives.
We have started the distribution of conversion kits and setting up of conversion centers across the country in conjunction with the private sector. We believe that this CNG initiative will reduce transportation costs by approximately 60% and help to curb inflation. I've introduced the Skill Up Artisans Program, SUPER, the Nigerian Youth Academy, NIA, and the National Youth Talent Export Program, NATIP. 75,000 beneficiaries have processed to receive our 1 million micro and small business single-digit interest loans starting this month. We have also built 10 MSME hubs.
For more on these developments, Federal Commissioner representing Enugu State at the Federal Character Commission, Gene Kato, joins me via Zoom from Abuja. And the APC Chairman, UK Chapter, Tunde Doherty, joins me via Zoom from London. Good to have you both join me on the program today.
Yeah, it's been a good pleasure having me to be on your platform tonight. How are you? I hope everything is all right, and I hope the protest is a bit off the coast now.
Well, yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay. And I think we'll just take it from where Mr. Doherty, you were asking about the protest and all. It's neither here nor there. You have people gathered, you have government intervene, calling for dialogue. and all of that happening. But, the question just still remains, because one of the big issues has been the issue of hunger, food. When are we going to see the slash in prices of commodities? When are people going to be able to buy at about the same price they were buying, the same rate they were buying before all of these prices really skyrocketed? So that is one of the big questions, and which I want to pose to the two of you on what you think government is doing in this regard, and how soon you think that we can actually have a slash in prices, especially of rice and other commodities. Let me begin with you, Mrs. Genekato, because you are here with us in Nigeria.
Yes, thank you. I'm here.
All right. So I'm asking about